So we've got a Nissan Patrol here. It's had an LS conversion done to it. Now it's got a twin system and it suffers from heat issues down the passenger side. Reason being is both sets of pipes cross over under the gearbox and then run down the passenger side. So under that occupant's feet, we've got rising heat issues. Now the easiest way to address it, I mean, you can coat your headers, you can wrap them. We've got a curve kit, what we call a curve kit here, which is an embossed aluminium. Now this is a universal thing. It comes as a curve. You can basically flatten it out or you can make it suit whatever size you want. Also comes with some brackets here, which are a stainless bracket. You can feed a hose clamp through these guys. Put them wherever you want around your pipe, and then that gives you ability to run this metric 6 screw through it and bolt it on. If these holes don't work, you can drill a hole wherever you need to. We're going to fit this one up under the Patrol, so what I'm going to do is jump underneath. We're going to feed it up over the pipe. Your pipe is not always straight, so I'm expecting to get around and bend this and shape this a bit and form it to the pipe so it fits. So we'll jump underneath and we'll get that done. Now we're going to feed this up. This is semi-rigid, so I can flatten it right out. I can bend it into whatever shape it needs to be. So we've got this flex joint here and then there's a cap down here. Feed it up. We're going to cover as much as we can here under the passenger's pedals. So you can get in here and use your hands. This one's a bit tight and I really want to pull it down over there to squash it down. So I've got some hose clamps here that I've joined together. I'm going to put them over it and do them up and sort of squash it and form it to pull it in a couple of areas. So it's going to float and then it's going to almost touch and then float. So we've got our shield here. You can see where we put the hose clamp over where that catalytic converter was, that it's squashed it down. It's almost like a Christmas bonbon. So it's rough at this stage. So in this setup, we've actually ran two of these to go the full length. The passenger's hip point is about here, so that rising heat underneath we want to capture too. Now you can see this one's a good example where I've just roughed it out. Now we're going to just shape this and form it. It needed a kink in there where the pipe's got a small bend. I've roughed it out with the hose clamp. We're just going to hammer this up to keep that curve in there but get it back into shape. With all these peaks, highs and lows, it's easy to form and you can see it crinkled here. So what I'm going to do is I've got a hammer and dolly here. He's just going to tap this and get rid of the creases, make it pretty. Now the material wants to shrink here, so what I'm going to do is just use these long nose pliers and just give it a kick where it's going to create a pleat in it. And now I'm just going to hammer this in and try and fold it in to get this to kick around. This will require a fit up, a take out, a fit up, a take out to get it right. You can see here, without tooling, I mean, one option is you could make some tooling and make a press tool and press this. I can keep pleating this and we'll get this whole thing to curve. So I'll throw it up under the vehicle and see what it looks like. This sort of hump here, I'm not too fussed about. I know I can tap that back into a form, so we'll keep working it. So what I had noticed here, there's a flange up the back here, which was giving us some resistance. So I'm gonna cut this sheet down just with a set of tin snips here. Now you can see this is a multi-layer and it's got a raw edge and it's sharp. What I'm going to do is fold that, choose about 10 millimeters and fold it back over on itself. So I usually cut a 45 on here just so when we fold that over it doesn't create a sharp edge hanging out. Now you could do this over the corner of a bench or whatever you've got, a piece of timber. So you can see that's put a nice return on it which matches everything else. It also beams it up to give it some strength. So you don't need to be scared that, you know, is this curve the right curve? You can make this whatever you want. I'm expecting that when I get back in there, I'm going to form it and shape it a bit more. But now we're ready to load up the brackets on it, feed it up under there and get some hose clamps on there, put it in position. Bob's your auntie's living lover. Really want it to be longer over there. which that'll work. Bang, bang. And presto.